Hello and welcome to our first interview episode at True North. My name is Mackenzie. Hopefully you've seen my introductory video, but a quick synopsis of what True North is. If you go to my website at truenortheducate.com, you can see lots of tips and tricks to help make your college planning and processing less stressful and more exciting. So what I want to go through with these interviews today is what your different options are in terms of school size. So I have Aaron here, and Aaron's actually my husband, and he went to a small school. So we're going to talk a little bit today about what going to a small school looks like, what some of the pros, some of the cons are, so that you can hear from an actual student and decide if that's the right fit for you. So first of all, Aaron, thank you for taking time to be with me today.
Yeah.
The first thing I want you to tell us about is about Point Loma and what drew you to the school initially.
Well, there are a couple of things. I knew that I wanted to be at a school that was a little bit smaller, that had a more of a community feel, where I could really get to know a lot of different people and feel at home a lot faster than maybe something like at a big university.
Great. And did you apply to other small schools, or did you kind of know what you wanted? What was your experience in the college application process?
Yeah, I did not apply anywhere else, which looking back on it could be a little bit risky, but luckily I got in. I knew that that's where I wanted to go, and I spent a lot of time researching and making sure that I would be a viable candidate when I did apply.
So why did you decide that you wanted a small school as opposed to some of those big name schools that you hear about all the time? I know that there's a lot of larger schools that maybe make the media more. So why did you end up choosing a small school like Point Loma?
I think it just fit my personality better. I knew that from the very beginning, I knew that I wanted to be at a smaller school. Waking up every morning and waving to people and maybe not knowing everybody's name, but having seen them before, making it feel a little bit more like home. So I knew that was important to me.
Great. So something that's unique about Point Loma, and I'm not sure if our viewers know this, is that it is a religiously affiliated school.
Right.
So not all small schools are, but how did that factor into your decision-making process?
I grew up Nazarene, and Point Loma is a Nazarene university. You don't have to be Nazarene to go there, or even a Christian to go there, but it did factor into my decision-making simply because I wanted that lifestyle and those choices that I wanted to be making were really important to me. And so things like chapel and Cov group, which is a time for people to get together on their hall and to pray and things like that, those things I was really looking forward to and things that I really enjoyed.
Great. So on the website, on truenortheducate.com, you can see that there's some steps to finding the right fit, and there's a bunch of different factors that go into finding where you fit best. One of those is socially fitting in, but another major factor is how do you learn best? So in a small school setting, something that most people enjoy is the fact that the professors and the students have a different sort of relationship than they're able to have at a larger school. So tell me a little bit about the relationships that you made with your professors.
Yeah, the student to professor ratio was pretty low. I think the biggest class that I was ever a part of was maybe 40 students, but on average I would say it was between 15 to 25. It just makes getting to know your professor and understanding their expectations a lot easier. And by the end, there's that friendship, not just the professor-student, but they really see you as a colleague when you work hard and when you prove your worth. And so it's nice to be able to develop those relationships more than just, that was my professor, my freshman year of college. It's a lot closer of a relationship.
That's great.
Yeah.
So something else that might be a deterrent for a small school is there's less variety of majors and internships and research opportunities.
Yeah.
So did you feel going to Point Loma that you were well equipped for the career that you wanted?
Absolutely. I didn't know going in what exactly I wanted to do. I had a few interests and had a few thoughts about it, But Point Loma ended up being a great place for me. I got my degree in liberal studies, which is a lot of teachers get that degree, and that's what I ended up going into is teaching, and I'm now teaching in my 7th year, and I feel like Point Loma did a great job preparing me.
Great.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to play a little game called Top 5, Bottom 5.
Okay.
So you're going to think of the top 5 things, reasons why you think Point Loma was the best fit for you or might be a good fit for other students out there.
Okay.
And then the bottom 5 would be 5 things that if you could have gone back and changed something about the school, you would have.
Okay. I'll start with the top 5.
Okay. Number 1.
Number 1, chapel services. We had required chapel, which was awesome. They had great worship, great speakers. Another thing would probably be the focus on community and the small school feel, really getting to know people. Another one would be just the emphasis on great education. I feel like I got to know my professors really well and learned a lot and was really actually prepared for the profession that I wanted to go into. Oh boy, there are a lot of great things. Location was another big thing.
Oh yeah.
Great weather. The campus is in a place, it's on the water, and so it's in a place where you're close to downtown, you're close to different attractions, but you still feel secluded. We could get to downtown in 10 or 15 minutes, so that was a good thing.
And it's on the literally like
right,
ocean
it's
view.
on the beach, yeah. And lastly, just the different opportunities that I had. Even though it was a small school, it wasn't lacking for opportunities. I was in an a cappella group. I really liked musical theater, so I was in a club for that. I played ping pong. There was all kinds of different things for you to do. So that would be the last one. And then as far as cons or bottom 5, I would say the cost. As a private university, it's really expensive, and you don't realize when you're taking out loans just how painful that can be when you're paying those back 4 years later. So that was definitely something difficult. But other than that, that's the biggest thing that sticks out to me. I feel like I chose really well. I was really happy with my experience at my university. So that's the only negative that I can think of.
So top 5, bottom 1.
1, yeah.
Well, but financial aid and all of that is a really big
huge.
deal.
Yeah.
So it's important that people who are planning on attending a school are really aware of the cost.
Yep.
Well, Aaron, thank you so much for your insight about Point Loma and other small schools in general. So hopefully if you're watching this, you got a little bit of a snippet of what it might look like if you were to go to a small school. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be adding more interviews and more personal accounts from different types of colleges, vocational schools, etc. So thanks for watching. Tune in again.